welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Broadcasting. I'm your host, Lady T, and we will be discussing a wide range of topics, from financing, family, cooking, traveling, music, and more. I'm here to inspire, to motivate, and educate. Let's talk. I'm here, open for discussion. This is me. This is my way of giving back. Let's talk. I'm that ear, I'm that shoulder, lean on me. Every Saturday from 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come here to express yourself. Hello everyone. First and foremost, I want to apologize for starting late today. Normally I try to get in here and get started as soon as I can. But today was just one of those days. Driving home from work, traffic wasn't too good. But today, you guys, I wanted to talk to you, to mainly the ladies. For those of you that tuned in when I did a quick little video in reference to the men, I really just wanted to share something with the ladies today based off a conversation that I have. As I tell you guys, I am inspired to basically do these shows, or just basically give you guys put you in a different mindset so that you can basically think outside of the box when it comes to life. Because sometimes we don't do that, and I myself am one of those people that I get too caught up in living sometimes that I forget to think outside of the box when I'm in a situation. So today I am going to talk about self-worth. And this topic, I feel like, is so important when it comes to women, because we sometimes are so emotional and we get so emotionally attached. You gotta focus because you keep dropping that. But we get so emotionally attached, especially to men, to our boyfriends, I'm not really going to put the husbands in the bracket, because by the time you have made it to the level of a husband, you kind of already have an idea of what it is that you are supposed to do and how you are supposed to carry yourself. So the biggest thing is to identify with yourself, your worth, to identify what's important when it comes to being in a relationship, and not to lose yourself in a relationship. That is one of the things that we tend to do so much. And I feel like a lot of times when we become adults, we don't have that person that we can go and talk to and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. Can you give me a little advice? And sometimes our parents are not really there for us, especially if you're around my age where the moms are kind of quiet. My mom was so quiet. It's literally nothing I can ask her and I can get some advice. She's quiet, and that's just who my mom is. So I don't fault her for that. But what I have learned to do in the years of growing is I write my own questions down, and I do reach out to people that I feel like I can receive knowledge from. I also reach out to people that inspire me, people that I feel like that would definitely give me an answer that's going to help me grow. So basically, I just wanted to put it out there to give you guys a different mindset to think from. Basically, the way I see self-worth when it comes to us as women, I myself has been in situations where I would sometimes be too into my relationship. I forgot to focus on me. And in doing that, I even began to not focus so much on work, not focus so much on my goals, my dreams, or life, because I was too caught up in the relationship. I was focusing on my happiness and what I had while I was in that relationship. I was also focusing on what I could possibly have as well. So ladies, when it comes to self-worth, you guys, when it comes to not only self-worth in a relationship, but self-worth in general, like in your everyday life, it is so important to stay focused. It is important to drive continuously. Not only because you're in a relationship and you want to be seen, or you're trying to be in a relationship and you're trying to be seen. You have to acknowledge your self-worth, acknowledge what you are, who you are, where you're going, and push and strive in that on a daily basis. In doing that, you're just going to build a better you. I was having a conversation with a young lady, and that was one of the things that I shared with her. You know, it is so important that you acknowledge that when something goes wrong in a relationship or something goes wrong in your life, you have to acknowledge the situation as a whole. You have to acknowledge what might have led up to that mess up, what might have led up to, you know, the situation not really working out the way that you wanted it to. And then you have to evaluate things like that so that you can be on your toes. As women, sometimes we tend to bury situations and we want to say, oh, it's okay, I've been hurt, and we move on from one relationship to the next. It all goes back to the other video that I made a couple of Saturdays ago in reference to scars. We have to stop denying the fact that we have been hurt, denying the fact that it does hurt to go through a breakup, or especially when someone doesn't give you a reason why and you're kind of just lost wondering what just happened. Self-worth is so important to know that you got to stay on your toes. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you got to stay on your toes. You have to build yourself. The focus has to be there of who you are, where you're going in life, and understand that if you go through a breakup, that does not mean that your world is over. Sometimes we as people put ourselves in relationships, and honestly, those relationships are not for us. I have been one of those people. I've been in relationships, and the number one thing, I will say, and I know a lot of people have their conflict when it comes to God, or, you know, just believing that we should follow the Bible and how it goes. But I can honestly tell you, every relationship that I have been in that was not something that I prayed about, it ended horrible. It wasn't something that I was happy with. And there was times when I was in the relationship when I would self-check myself and be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you even here? But I was so comfortable that I didn't want to leave. And eventually it just got to the point where it was too much uncomfortableness, so one of us had to make a decision. But that was my little moment of doing first my self-check and drilling myself. Sometimes it don't take a long time, because I never really, the longest relationship I have been in, I want to say it's been about maybe 5 or 6 years. And that was my very first relationship. But other than that, everything else has just been little bits and pieces here and there. And from each and every one, you guys, that we go through and we've been with when it comes to relationships, ladies, we have got to do a self-evaluation on ourselves. We have got to acknowledge the true meaning of who we are, the true meaning of what really happened. A lot of times we want to go to this gossiping stage and saying, this is what happened, and you know, we tell a story a total different way of what really happens. And that's where that phrase comes in of there's always two sides to every story. So it is so important to just really sit down and have that me time. Really sit down and evaluate, what did you do wrong? What did that person do wrong? Did you pray about that relationship before you got into that relationship? Was that relationship right for me? And you got to be honest with yourself. Sometimes we don't want to be honest with ourselves because the truth hurts. And that's where we build, that's where we grow from, when we get the honest, blatant truth. I am so big on truth. I absolutely love it. Actually, when I get out here, I got to go and do some truth on myself. But you guys, that is all I have for y'all today. Again, I do apologize for starting late. Y'all know I normally try to get in here at 9 o'clock. As I said, my work schedule did change, so I'm driving from one city to the next to get here. But definitely just want to thank everyone that tuned in. For those of you that go back and watch the video, comment below. Tell me what you think. Of course, you guys, these videos can be found on YouTube now. It's only going to get better from here because I'm actually working with someone and networking. So this is my dream. This is what I'm doing, not only to inspire people, but I always tell people I have 5 kids I'm raising in this world. And this stuff that I'm putting out here, sometimes it may be a little hard. And even the dialogue of my English may change, but I'm being me. I'm being real. This is when I am most comfortable, is when I'm doing this. So you guys, I really do appreciate you guys for constantly coming back to watch the shows just to see what I have to say, the quick videos, whatever you may call them. You can find me on YouTube. Look up Let's Talk Broadcasting. Every show that I have been doing on here, I just take it and I load it there. So there's going to be some shows that I'm going to do directly from YouTube, just so that I can build that page up even more. Once I get this network and everything set up, you guys, we will just keep the ball rolling. Like I said, comment below. I will respond later. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. At the end of the day, you guys, ladies, it is so important to know your self-worth. No man should ever tear you down, and no man should ever be able to build you up, and that's all that you are. You have to build yourself up. You have to work on yourself and be great. Be great. Know that you are great with or without a man. Your man should be your compliment as well as you his compliment. So that's all that I have for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, tune in every Saturday at 9 o'clock. Like I said, I'm working on some things. So y'all got to come back and check me out. Y'all got to definitely come back and check me out. Hey, Rashad, thanks for joining. Yeah, I definitely got to keep preaching, man. Sometimes I have these conversations at work and I get caught up with these people, and I'm inspired. So I make those my topics. But until next time, y'all tune in. This is Let's Talk with Lady T. And I'll be back 9 o'clock Saturday, and in between I'll do some shows whenever I'm inspired, whenever I feel that go. I'm gonna give it to you guys, okay? Thanks for tuning in, and remember, tune in every Saturday from 9 to 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to Let's Talk Broadcasting with your host, Lady T.